Christian Coleman, Noah Lyles on the start line. This is now, I mean, I know Coleman won the race. Good fast time. It was into a big tailwind, 4.4 tailwind, but it's still a good time even with that tailwind. I think Christian Coleman's mark, if you guys know I love conversions. If you convert all of the headwinds and tailwinds run this year, it's the second best 100-meter performance behind Omanyala's world lead.
You did the math.
I did the math.
Good.
So it is legit the second best time of the year, even with the tailwind. But more importantly, Noah Lyles in that race was running Coleman down. Now Coleman did pull up. Coleman was looking to his left while Lyles was on his right. But seeing that Lyles performance got me very excited for his potential in this 100, because this was the first time I think all year that Lyles has put together I can medal at the World Championships in the 100 performance. We saw him lose to a high schooler. We saw him have kind of weird indoor races, right? The race against Bromell, the pulling out of USA's due to injury, all this different things. This was the first time Noah Lyles was like, hey guys, when it comes to it in August, I may be the guy who can pull off the double.
With the wind being what it was, I looked at head-to-heads here. And who else in this race did they beat that's a really quality win? And you look at the person who got third, Akeem Blake, who we updated the rankings last week on the 100. I had Akeem Blake 6. I actually had him ahead of Christian Coleman. I didn't have Lyles in the top 10. And the reason was...
Just shows how bad you are with your rankings.
Well, that could be one takeaway. The other takeaway would be you have Osama Singh out there who beat him.
Yeah.
I mean, and Osama Singh is great. We know how good he is, but this is who I had. Curley, Omanyala, Seville, Bromell, Bednarik, Akeem Blake, Coleman, Bracey, Simbine, Asinga. That's a really good 10 without having Lyles in there. That doesn't even include Marcel Jacobs. That doesn't even include some of the like Terrence Jones isn't in there. So he was rightfully, I think, out of the top 10. Now, I think he's moved into the top 10. The question is, what are we going to be saying about this race in 4 weeks' time? Is this a USA's preview, or is this a battle for a little bit farther down on the list? I just love how diametrically opposite these guys run their hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
So much. They always do it. Nothing has changed. I know Coleman's worked on the back half and Lyles has worked on the start, but it seems like any progress that they make is just counterbalanced. It's outweighed by the other person getting even stronger at their own personal strength. Like Coleman just becomes a better starter, and Lyles becomes even better
at closing
at 50 to 100.
Yeah, watching Coleman and Lyles run 100, where one is a really good starter, one's a really good closer. It's like it's like watching a 400 where both athletes are running in the opposite direction. Because you know, like, oh, they're coming towards each other. Now they're chasing, like when you do the run the bases, when people run on opposite sides. That's what it feels like, because you see like a big lead for Coleman and then a big close for Lyles, and it's like kind of fun. It's like, whoa, it's like a seesaw action, which it's good. Lyles, the one thing Lyles got going for him is the way he runs it is more entertaining, right? Because like it's so much cooler to watch someone get someone at the line than for someone to hold someone off, right?
Well, I think what you also could say is something that he has going for him is he's clearly not dependent on the start. So if he gets the start, it's house money. Now, starting isn't luck. Starting is a skill. Starting is something that's honed and practiced and stuff like that. But you also can stumble out of the blocks. And I feel the advantage Lyles has is he never thinks he's out of the race. Now, credit to Coleman, right? Coleman did not have a great year last year, and Coleman talked about how he just needed more races in his legs to get ready. Now, I wouldn't put either of these two guys ahead of Fred Curley, but I think they're both in really good position to qualify. It's really just going to depend on the Bs, Bromell, Bednarik, Baker, and Bracey. That's what it's going to come down to. Like, how good are those four? Because Baker ran pretty well early. It was under the radar. Bednarik ran a really good 100, beat Bracey, but lost to Omanyala. And we know Bromell has it. We know he can get to a level that few guys have gotten to before. It's still going to be ridiculously hard to make this 100-meter team.